right, so I have not been the best with Q&A for this Patreon. I put it on there, asked some questions, and I never got around to it because I didn't have a camera or a microphone to do it at the time. So I have it now. I'm gonna be doing this monthly. I'm probably gonna kick out 3 to 4 of these in the next few weeks just to catch up with all of them. But right here are a few questions from patrons of my Patreon. And you can go to my Patreon at patreon.com/TucsonMorrison.
Whoa.
I'll put that in the link below, or it'll pop up on the screen. The only place I could find to do this is a bus stop, because everywhere else is kind of taken up and it's super sunny outside and you can't really get the best picture. Maybe we'll call this bus stop confessionals. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. Anyways, all right, so I'm gonna get to some of the questions that the patrons asked me, and the way it works is if you're a patron of the Patreon, ask me any question you want. Without further ado, here is the first question. What music are you listening to right now? So I kind of came prepared with this, have my phone. I'm currently listening to A Cup of Coffee by DJ Okawari. Okawari. So I had this Jazz Instrumentals playlist on, and I was listening to that all day today. One thing I have been listening to that's kind of like a guilty pleasure. We were filming a music video a few days ago at the Varsity. Friend's the GM of the Varsity, and he said, this cat came through from Rochester. He sold out the Varsity 2 nights in a row. Have you heard of him, Tucson? I said, what's his name? He said, his name is Young Gravy. I turned on my YouTube, and I found Young Gravy's music video, Mr. Clean, and I immediately thought it was a joke. I began laughing real hard, and then we all proceeded to have a conversation if Young Gravy is satire or if he's serious. And since then, I've been listening to Young Gravy for the past like 2 days straight. I can tell you rhymes, I can tell you titles of songs, I can tell you metaphors. It's ridiculous. Like, I'm unhealthily obsessed with Young Gravy, so that's been another thing I've been listening to. Lastly, something I've been listening to as well, this is kind of a guilty pleasure. I listen to orchestrations of Chrono Trigger and Zelda all the time, and it doesn't stop. I'm sitting down writing, turn on the Zelda orchestration, writing somebody a thank you letter for being part of the film, listen to Zelda orchestration while I'm doing it. Waking up in the morning, listen to Chrono Trigger orchestration. So that's happening, and if you get the chance, you should check it out on YouTube. I got a plan to download them all and just keep them in my phone. All right, next question. What happened to Tatianna in Tucson? So, for those of you that don't know, Tatianna in Tucson was the first web series that I released, and it was at my old apartment, like a sitcom type of deal, with a man and woman living in a house. And Tatianna moved, and we wrapped up filming. It was kind of like an experiment off the bat, so yeah, I mean, it could come back. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I don't know what it would look like if it did, but for right now, the setup for that style of film, I've kind of brought into Racially Ambiguous Duo. So Racially Ambiguous Duo Season 2 will kind of pick up where those web series left off. You know, kind of like that sitcom-y, Seinfeldish, people of color type of humor. What is people of color type of humor? I don't know what that is. But it's definitely Racially Ambiguous Duo. So, yeah. Do you ever reference family or family members in your project? Yes, I do. There are a lot of lines that are hidden in the scripts and hidden in the performances in the web series that I put out that are definitely from my dad and my mom, and sometimes my sister. I'll never tell you which ones because I don't put the family out like that. But there are things that my mother has said in the past that I'm like, this character's gonna say that. There are things that my grandmother has said that I put in the characters. So to answer your question, yes, I definitely do that. All right. What is your next project? So we wrap up the Van Duzens this week, and that is something I'm gonna go into entirely in a different video. The Van Duzens right now is a project that's a family dealing with mental health issues and racial disparity, all while dancing on the precipice of divorce. But The next project is tentatively titled New Metro, and it is based on several arcade games that I grew up playing as a kid. And that's all I'll say. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to go into too much detail and give it away. I don't really know what we're gonna do with it. It's just something that's been musing to me for the past 2 years. God, I'd say 3 years. And it's just, once you know that vision hits you enough, you're just at the point you're like, I gotta do something about it. So that's the next project. It's not a series, it's just a one-off. And how long it lasts, I don't know. When is your album releasing, your next album? So, my next album is called Social Science Club, and it is releasing late fall, early winter. So the release party will be in late November or early December, and from there, you will get Social Science Club. We've already released 2 music videos for the project, and coming up, we'll just have like an official date that we're gonna release it, but it will release this year. It's gotta be out by the end of 2019. And we're just, Jake and I are taking in a few new artists and having them record over choruses, and having some instrumentalists come in and lay down certain tracks. So yeah, that's happening, and I'm a little bit got nervous about it because it's been a long time coming, and it gets delayed and pushed back, and I don't even want to get into that or get into that vibe, but it most definitely is going to be done by the end of 2019. You'll have it. There's gonna be a slew of merch along with it. I can't wait to release it, and I really can't wait to see y'all at the release show. So that's all I got for Q&A today. I'm gonna try to catch up to all the questions from the patrons, because they've been stacked up for a while now. I'm sorry about that. There will be kind of a follow-up video to what's going on right now with me, and yeah, the state of the state, because I haven't done a video in a long time, and it's for specific reasons, and maybe some unknown reasons too. But that's the Q&A. If you want to ask questions as a patron, go to patreon.com/TucsonMorrison and support the film and the music, and reap awesome, badass rewards in return. Love y'all. Thank y'all. Peace.